Alright, so that was a repeating motif, and I'm in the key of E minor. I'm using, was it E minor, Beautiful Soft backing track on YouTube for the backing track. The chords are E minor, E minor, C, and D, and then back to E minor. Now, my motif here, I'm going to come up closer here to the camera so you can see this. So that is a melodic thirds scale in the key of E minor or G major. So what I'm thinking of here is I'm thinking of my E minor chord, but using the A minor shape. Right? So when I see this chord shape, then I think this scale form. There's my E there. So okay, so now my motif is based around this full scale. So E minor chord using A minor shape, moved up, A minor chord moved up, right, move that up. So then from there, harmonic minor, that was an accident. So see the two roots, E and E. Okay, so here's the motif. So you're starting on the D note at the 10th fret. And you go to 7, and then the 8, and then 10 on the B, and back to the high E string in the 7. And then the 8 on the B string. 10 on the B, 7 on the B, and you go to 8 on the B, back to the 8 on the B. But then you do this, and you go. So you hammer. Sometimes I'm putting the rake in there, or I'm raking. Sometimes I'll extend my finger over to mute. Not every time. And I ended it with. I'm bending up here, the 5th of the B. I'm at the 7th of the B and then bending the 9th of the G. Against that, while this is down, I'm bending the. You can hear you get it the right spot. You're getting the octave. See, it's hard for me to. There we go. And I just come back. So. Shaking them, vibratoing them. I'm using all 3 fingers on the same string. They're all or classical. Right? Okay, so what you should take from that is the idea of how the repeating motif worked over the whole thing. So when it comes down to it, we're talking about repetition here, which a lot of people, a lot of players could be better at. It's something I work hard on is, sticking with an idea and not moving on right away. Also I love this sound of melodic thirds, so I try to incorporate it. And for those of you who out there practice this scale a lot, make sure you put it into use. You don't just run this thing. Right? You don't just run that an exercise. Try to make it musical. All right, so now the next one I want to do here. This one's going to be another repeating motif, bending. Okay, here we go. So there I'm bending up. I'm in the E minor form for the key of E minor. So I'm bending this 14th fret of the G string up. Pretty aggressive with it. And vibrato, that's right. So I'm bending up at the reg, and I'm cutting it down. When I come back down, back to the 12th fret, and the 14 on the D. Give that a little vibrato. And the last time I didn't quite hit the bend. Should have been doing that. So a classic that. So bending the 14th up, 12, 12 to 15 on the B, and then bending that up. And then trying to do a bend by okay, so there we know about using a bend as a motif. Again, the motif is just something that's repeating, and it's working over all of the chords. So we have E minor, C, D, back to E minor. So there's enough notes there that every time the chord changes, the notes are reflected differently by what chord is being played. Same with the first one, right? It works because how the notes react now to the chords changing. Sorry, right? So every time the chord changes, these notes are still going to sound good, but they're going to react differently to the underlying chord that's going by. And then the last one I want to do here is talking about a rhythmic motif, and that would be just playing. Like before I was doing this, coming up with stuff, I was doing something like this, and I'm getting more technical about that here in a second, but let me play it for you. I'm waiting for it to come back around, right? So, I'm starting on a 1E. Essentially, I'm basically going 1E and a 1E and a 2 and 3 and 1E and a 2 and 3 and just coming down the scale. So 1E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I think that's what it is. Now I can do that down the whole scale. Right. It's hard. Right, so there we're using rhythm as a way to create interest and still be like a motif, right? Okay, I'm gonna just play out a little bit here.